Hello, and thank you for listening to Gettin Hard in Nate's Backyard. On this episode of the podcast, I have my old buddy Che.
Oh, yeah.
And I got my buddy via phone call, DJ Temple.
Hey, guys.
Hey,
How
DJ.
you doing?
Good, how are you?
I am fantastic. Loving life. Just chilling.
So, you know what I love, before I get into some commercials here, is we'll talk about the weather for a minute. I love how you guys are getting absolutely fucking screwed in BC for snow.
It's pretty awesome.
It's like all those years of bragging and like just finally catching up to everybody out there. We don't really get snow, just here and there. Oh no, not this year.
It's something else, man. It is something else.
So it is way above seasonal, or below, whatever you want to call it, however you want to look at it.
Yeah, it's pretty nasty. I think one day alone we got just over 2 feet or something.
Fuck.
That's gnarly, man. Yeah, that's gnarly.
I lived in...
That's gnarly for anywhere, like that's crazy, man.
And that's in Abbotsford, right?
That is in Abbotsford where I'm at. There's a great picture I posted on Facebook, and I titled it, "When You Wait Until the Snow Stops to Uncover Your Car." I'm just like a solid 2.5 feet on my car.
That was your vehicle. I was like, look at this. Man. I was like, look at this asshole driving around like this. Oh no, that's DJ's car. Oh, okay, I got it.
And then once you figured out it was my car, you're like, look at this asshole.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Like, I didn't know you were that guy. Yeah.
Because I'm trying to think. I lived in Mission. Well, and we should tell the people you're in Abbotsford, right?
Yeah.
So I lived in Mission, 97, 98, 96 maybe. And fuck, I don't know if I even saw snow. In those 3 years, I don't know if maybe flakes on the ground, it frosted.
You go up the mountainside there, you go up the back road there, Mission.
No, sure. I mean, it's built, well.
The goat trail or whatever. Right?
I always thought, because Mission's built on a fucking side of a mountain, so I always figured that it would get snow. But no, it was always green out there. So when's the last time you recall this much snow?
Ironically, probably 96.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, somewhere around 96. I remember being just as bad, if not a little bit better, maybe. But that's what everyone's saying around here is we haven't seen snow like this since 96.
But it happens. It happens, right? I'm just worried about the plants.
I'm sure they'll be okay. They're all inside.
Good. No. There's the ones outside.
They're fucked.
Yeah, they can't handle this kind of weather. I don't think.
That's gonna taste different. Fucking A. So I'm gonna do commercials now. Okay.
All
right. And we'll get into this more in a bit. That's the whole point of this podcast. It's basically a big long infomercial. But this podcast is brought to you by Temple Entertainment.
Yes.
That's our guest, DJ Temple.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Tell the people what you do, man. Tell the people in 30 seconds what Temple Entertainment is all about.
This is simple. If there's a single aspect of your musician life or band you need help with, you call us because we've got everything covered. We even just opened up our goddamn accounting section. So we can do all of your books, your bookkeeping, your finances, your tax returns, all of it. We hired a CPA. We are legit as fuck over here, guys.
So you hired a CPA not only just to have your shit in order, but for rent out to everybody else too.
Yeah, I talked to him. I'm like, hey, I want to open up a tax division wing. What do you think? And he's like, I'm in. I'm like, oh, we shook hands, signed the contract. That's it. We do taxes, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, who the fuck doesn't want more work, eh?
And you know what? The more I think about this lately, I'm like, man, I should get Temple Entertainment to do more of my life for me. You know what
Nice.
I mean? There's I'm serious. Here's all this stuff with merch and shit. I'm like, it can get really frustrating. Finding good art, making sure it's proper and all this shit. And you guys have you have all these connections already built, and it's just like, man, I'm just gonna go that route. You know what I mean?
Well, see, and that's where it came from. It's spawned by musicians, me in this case, starting a company for musicians that would promise musicians would never get screwed. Because frankly, getting screwed is just something that became so synonymous with being a musician. We kind of all just accepted it, and I got sick of hearing about people getting screwed. So,
well, it's funny. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, here I come to just fix it all, save the day. Ginger tornado. Boom.
Well, hey,
Ginger tornado.
We know that in order to make things good, people have to step up and do it. And one thing I like about what you're doing is the whole transparency thing. Like, tell us about your whole stance on the transparency and how that all works.
I'm still pretty young in the business world. Like, I'm only 34, so I mean, I'm take what I say with a grain of salt. But like, it seems to be that the modern day business world, regardless of where it is, like in movies or music or even running martial art gyms or whatever, the tendency of business is protect yourself from the inevitability of somebody's going to screw you. Somebody's going to screw you, so just make sure you screw them first. It seems to be just the air of business, and I refuse to believe that's how business is done. So when we started this up, I said, here's how it's going to work. I'm going to get paid to do stuff, and I'm going to tell you how much I'm going to get paid if you ever ask me. I'm going to tell you how much the prices are. And if you question how much the prices are, I'll be completely honest with why the prices are that way.
Yeah.
And you know I'm getting paid to do it, because I'm telling you I'm getting paid to do this. This is why I have a business and my job. And people are like, all right. I mean, it seems to make sense. If I called you to do a CD cover for me, you should probably get paid for it.
Yeah, for sure. And it's when talking about the business stuff kind of in this end, because I mean, let's face it, our demographic is probably mostly dudes in metal bands.
some of the brokest people out there, possibly. I don't know.
But like in the glory days, like in this like fictional world of the music business that was from whatever the 60s to the 80s or 90s, like there were guys out there who were fucking killer. And, you know, if you were a bigger band and you got on with this guy, you were just good because he took care of everything. And you could really focus on being a musician.
Yeah.
Because there's so many, all the rad guys are like, dude, I don't know what merch is. I don't care. Like, I just want to bang girls and play guitar. You know, so Temple Entertainment allows you to do that. I would say you're filling a vacuum that was left kind of once the golden era of the music business, you know, imploded on itself because it was so fucking greedy.
Well, I'm fortunate enough that my friend circle around me, I think we talked about my inner circle program I do with my friends and stuff, where like there's half a dozen of us that get together and we pool some money together every month, and then whoever's hard up the most, they get all that pool money.
Whoa.
Oh yeah.
What the fuck? I'm in on that.
He was saying he does all these, you know, like DJ's been doing all these live videos on Facebook and stuff, and he was telling us about that. And,
sorry, I'm not up to date on it.
And it's just like, I mean, I've said that so many times, but I could never get a bunch of people to agree to do it. But here you guys are doing it, and I think it's fucking rad.
Well, I would wager that 100% of the reason that people are hesitant to do it is probably because they're always the same thing. Well, yeah, but once this guy in the circle gets his debt paid, he's just going to leave the circle, and then I'm never going to get my turn or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm getting at. Get out of the scarcity mindset. Stop thinking that the only way to get ahead is to protect yourself and play all your cards close to your chest. I have been super fortunate with my friends and my business model so far, but I'm also coming out of a dark era a few years ago where shit was real bad, man. Like, I'm looking at my wife like, maybe if we both work overtime, we can afford hot dogs for the crap dinner. Like, that's how shitty things got. And I was fortunate enough that my friends around me were like, no. We'll fill your house with groceries. When your shit's better, pay it forward to somebody else. We'll give you rides to work or whatever. And I'm sitting here going, if I have a circle of like half a dozen friends to a dozen friends that would do that for me, what's to say I couldn't start a company that is literally going to do the same thing for people and go, listen, I'm not out to screw you. I'm telling you that, A, it's a bad idea to tour right now, or the contacts that I use for tours, like the people I have in my tour list, like Nate, I call you for shows, or I call Cage. If you or Cage can't really do it, there's one other person we talk to, and then we go, fuck Calgary, it's not going to happen because it just can't line up.
Sure.
And it's this mentality of like, well, I have to play the show or whatever. And we see it with promoters, right? How many times have you seen a promoter that goes, well, there's another metal show on, but I'm just going to put a metal show and work even harder at it, instead of, why don't the two of you get together? Like, I don't understand this. I better cut everyone else's throat before my own gets cut.
Well, and that brings me to my next point. This podcast is also brought to you by Big Nate Productions.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. And
that's my response to everything. Oh, yeah.
We try to be the temple entertainment of Alberta wherever we can, and same kind of shit, you know, like we try to help our friends. And so, anyways, and then Calgary Metal Fest, and we're done commercials now. But with what you're saying there, I mean, yeah, of course, it's Canada. We have California spread out over Russia as far as population goes, and it's cool that we can work together and do stuff together and support along, especially when, you know, metal bands like us are endeavoring, I mean, you would hope they are, endeavoring to go out on nationwide tours and all this stuff. I mean, it's a fucking underground railroad. You need friends in places, or you're really fucked. Like, if you're that band that are a bunch of dicks that can't fucking hang out with everybody because of their makeup or whatever, you know, like, Jesus, you're fucked. So that's really cool to be able to work with you and help in that way. Like you say, when your band comes out, you're gonna hook us up. When our band goes out, I'm sure you'll hook us up. And Stab Twist Pull raves about you constantly.
Oh, really?
Oh, fuck. Like, Dave raves about you constantly, about how you hooked them up so hardcore, man, on their tour. How many dates did you do for them?
I want to say it was 5 or 6.
Yeah, so like Lower Mainland and maybe Vancouver too?
They went up to Burns Lake too.
Yeah.
So were you all involved with that Burns Lake gig as well?
Yeah, that's all me, yeah.
Oh, fuck, man. Like, that was one of the best gigs they ever had. They constantly talk about how fucking awesome it was.
That's how Burns Lake is.
Yeah, these people are fucking ripping their sleeves off and buying all the merch.
That's killer. But see, like, that's where I get a little, I don't know if upset is the word, because I am eternally grateful that someone like Dave and Stab Twist Pull, or the Tyrants Demise guys, I hooked them up with a tour as well, and I'm working with 3 bands right now. I'm eternally grateful that people are happy, but what breaks my heart is that they're surprised. And that's where we've gotten to. Like, people are like, hey, I called this company to book me a tour, and when I book a band, when they come down,
no, they did it.
Did I miss something?
No, you Shay just cut you off.
That's why people are so surprised, because you actually did what they fucking asked you to do.
Yeah, I mean, it's this mentality. Like, when I book a band, like if Kayaktis phones me, and this is going to sound all cheesy and life coachy, but if Kayaktis phones me and says, hey, yo, can you book us a tour? I get myself in a mental state where I pretend that I am in Kayaktis. What would be required?
What do you do to get there?
That's how you do it.
But, like, to put myself in the position of, like, I don't want to sleep on the floor of a fucking van, so why would I make Kayaktis do that?
Well, Sorry, continue.
I want to make sure I get fed, and I like to shower every day, so let's make sure Kayaktis can do that, you see? And then people are blown away by that. And I'm going, well, you hired a company. That's what we're supposed to do. I'm sure we all heard about the Pure Deathcore thing, and Without Mercy was scammed by Pure Deathcore, too.
I don't want to talk about bad stuff.
Yeah. It's not neat stuff.
So, like, people aren't surprised by that, but they're surprised when you do what you said you were going to do.
Yeah.
Which is why, again, I'm super grateful that bands are excited, because we're not advertising. We're kind of just out there on Facebook going, hey, Temple Entertainment's a thing. We're doing stuff. And people are coming from all corners of the country saying, we hear you're the best. And I'm like, oh, that's fucking rad. We hear that you don't screw people. Well, of course not.
I mean, and that's what's hilarious is, like, Big Nate Productions has happened just because there's this stupid vacuum in the market. So, like, kind of what I'm trying to say, it sounds terrible, but even not coming out of my mouth yet, but like I haven't even really tried that hard And I've been able to make a foothold in Alberta because 9 out of 10, it's just a bunch of jagoffs who don't play, who are quote unquote business people, who are going to make a statement. You know, I just got my marketing degree and fuck, I'll show you. And they're fucking jokers and everything's fucked and nothing works like that in real life. And like, I started booking not really because I wanted to, but because I had to.
Yeah.
Just to have a fucking gig that wasn't a shit show. So the only reason I brought that up is because it's really awesome that you're trying. And not only are you trying, you're being effective and you're doing good business. So good for you.
Remember when I put on a few shows there a while back, a few years ago, and that was really it. Like, it wasn't that I was like, oh, you know, I really want to put on shows and I want to be that guy. But I was like, nobody's putting on shows right now, and there's bands that need to come through. So I'm going to put on a show, you know?
Yeah, and you work a day job that doesn't allow you to do it all the way through.
Yeah, well, exactly. I mean, it
like,
takes
you can't
a lot
take
of
the
dedication
time
to be a full-time promoter.
Yeah, and you know, good on you.
Yeah,
DJ?
I mean, and that's where the industry's at too. Like with Temple Entertainment, I'm fortunate enough that this is my, aside from teaching guitar lessons, which I also do under the banner, but
and being a ninja.
Which is huge now. I mean, the guitar, I think, I mean, I've been watching you, right? And the guitar lessons and like since you've gone solo, you know, doing it on your own, that's like the basis for all of this. That's what's giving you the opportunity to break it out.
So explain that to the people, like, because that does make more sense. Where, like, explain to them what Temple Music Academy is.
Well, Temple Music Academy is an entity that is absorbed by the umbrella of the Temple Entertainment Group.
Sure.
If that makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah. So the concept is I've taught music lessons for years, and I'm studying guitar pretty in depth right now. I'm studying through the Berklee College of Music correspondence program.
Gangster.
And I'm fortunate enough that that's what I did for a job. And then a few years ago, I decided, okay, I'm literally going to start my own music school where I teach for me, not for these large retailers where you pay a percentage for the room or whatever.
Yeah.
And the community I live in, the city of Abbotsford, has been amazingly supportive of this idea. And I didn't lose any business by going off on my own. And I thought, okay, well, I've done it. I've done the scary part that everybody talks about, where I don't have the consistent paycheck. I don't actually know where my next meal's coming from unless I do my business properly with this, that, the other thing. And once I got through that fear, I realized there's this huge hole in the market of bands that need help. And it's not because people are stupid. It's because people are like, well, why reinvent the wheel? You've done it. You've done everything I want to do. Like, bands phone me and say, I want to go on tour because Without Mercy's toured 150 times. Okay, well, that's easy. I call 6 people. Here you go. By the way, I need to charge you this much because the people I've involved with worked a couple of hours, and this is how I supplement my income. And everyone goes, okay.
Sure, and to keep going on my thought is that, like, that's what makes it make sense, is that you have the lessons, like, you broke out of the mold and you do your own lessons, and that, you know, pays your rent. And then you have a super rad band called Without Mercy that everybody should go check out right now.
Oh, yeah.
It's hard as fuck. and you tour that band. So that's where you're coming from. It's not like you're coming from, oh, I went to fucking Juilliard Business School in Chicago and fucking I know how it works in the 1970s now. You know, you have real world, like you say, if your business sucks, you fucking starve, and that's in today's world, which is not a university thing. It's a fucking go do thing.
Well, in my opinion, it's a relationship thing. Like, what I'm calling tour contacts, it's never it is by definition, it's a business conversation. But what it really more is I'm phoning a friend somewhere else in the country saying, hey, I got these bands that want to come out. Can you do me a solid? And my friends will be like, yeah. What do they need? And then the terms are simple. Like, there's this amazing thing of, like, when you ask to be paid for a service, there's a certain level of, like, acceptance on the service than there ever is when you do it for free.
Absolutely.
So when I call a friend and I say, hey, this band's coming through, they need, X amount of dollars for gas money. I've never had somebody go, well, that's retarded. Because I just won't ever phone them again for a date, and all of a sudden your venue has no live music.
Yeah, but I think you're kind of confusing, like, people being nice with people being nice. Like nobody, if you come out, like, a band will never come out and say, hey, man, we need $100 and, like, can we sleep on your floor? I mean, they will do that, but they will not do it successfully to the right people.
Right.
So
Which
now,
is where a company like mine ideally will step in.
Because you've laid the groundwork and the rad people in the rad towns.
Yeah,
right?
and here's a big part of that is the DJ, all these people, which is basically, the metalhead network of Canada. All
coast
these
to
people,
coast.
All these people, once people start getting to know each other, there's a certain level of integrity, that is recognized, and that's it. We look at DJ and we're like, man, this guy's solid. He's got our back, so I'm gonna fucking trust him to do what we need him to do. And that's basically the success of Temple Entertainment right now.
Well, you're 100% correct, but the actual success of Temple Entertainment is the Ginger Tornado.
Well,
and I think that's what Jay's trying to say, is that you're the hardcore Ginger Tornado, and until people meet you, they don't know what the Ginger Tornado is. So you need to explain to the world what the Ginger Tornado is.
Well, before I go off to that, I do want to make one statement and just clear the air on something, which is, although I started the company, I by no means am doing this on my own. I have branched out, and we have 3 representatives in the province of Alberta alone.
Yeah.
Smart.
So it is not just me. Well, I greatly enjoy seeing my name plastered everywhere. It is definitely a team effort, because without all of these people as a group, it would be a minuscule success at best.
Okay, well, on that side note, and we'll get back to the question I just asked, but so your name is actually DJ? And your last name is actually Temple, right?
Yeah, thanks, Mom, and you're surprised I'm a musician.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, hey,
I'm glad you're not a DJ.
Let me tell you about the first time I seen DJ Temple. And what happened was, all of a sudden there's this fucking event was made up, and it was at Vern's. And it was being put on by DJ Temple. And I'm like, what the fuck? DJs are putting on shows now? Because here's one thing. Kayakis has had this thing with DJs like the whole time, like, all these years that we've been playing. Oh yeah,
they run into us.
Yeah, we've had them try to set up on stage like as we're about to play. We've had them like all sorts of things. Like, it's just unreal, these guys. But so I see this event, and I'm like, oh, DJ Temple. I was like, what's going on here? We got some other joker, promoter, and so whatever. I kind of watch it go, and I'm like, okay.
Did you go to that show?
Well, no. What happened was they ended up canceling.
Oh.
And then we ended up filling. Well, that show got canceled, but we filled in for them at Loud as Hell.
Who's that?
Without Mercy.
Oh, right. Okay. I was just making sure. I was making sure I'm following your logic.
Yeah, no, and that's basically how we crossed paths, like, because so we replaced them on there, and then it was just basically like, okay, like, just basically put you guys on our fucking map, in our reality or whatever you want to call it, right? And
yeah, even if it didn't happen initially in like super optimal circumstances, I'm glad it happened.
Oh yeah, for sure. And we got to play Loud as Hell, and we had a good time.
I mean, the point is you're a go-getter, and fucking that's what it's always been. Like, so what year was that you're talking about? 2011?
Fucking 1812.
Yeah, who gives a shit? This is a podcast, so it'll live forever, right? But, so, enough jerking you off. What is explain the Ginger Tornado? Explain this to America.
I am a redhead, which the slang term is ginger, and when I do the windmills with my hair and we're playing death metal, somebody told me it looked like a tornado, so I went, ginger tornado.
Oh, okay.
You know,
that was not as awesome as I thought it would be.
On Sunday,
I think I get 10 minutes out of you.
On Sunday, I seen a Ginger Tornado sticker on the back of a vehicle in Calgary here.
Yeah, you have marketed it, which is awesome. You have branded it, which is great.
I've seen it on toolboxes and shit. Like,
it's because there's so many stickers out there right now.
Yeah, it's great.
Hey, man, when you get an idea, take it and run. That's what I learned.
Yeah.
Fucking rights, man. Fucking rights. Cool.
So, yeah, let's talk more about Without Mercy, because, like, I want to hear, like, all the good stuff that you can't tell us or you shouldn't be telling us. This is going to come out in the future, too, so, you know.
Well, what
can you tell us?
See what's going on with us.
How many records do you have? Start with the history.
Okay, history. We started sometime around 2004. Nobody really remembers anymore.
Nice.
We've been around about a decade, give or take. We've been touring for 7 of those 10 years. In 2016 alone, we played almost 100 shows.
Gangster.
That's fucking awesome.
More than 80 of them were out of town too, which was pretty exciting for us.
Good.
Let's see. We put out 4 studio albums. The most recent one was called Moichito. You can buy that now on all major platforms. We released that May 27th. And I recently got endorsed by EMG Pickups, which is very nice.
That is sweet. Dude.
Is that the Ginger Tornado or is that DJ Temple that got endorsed?
It's one and the same at this point.
Yeah.
I was just wondering.
It's like on their website. Does it say the Ginger Tornado?
I thought maybe that was like a shell company for you or something. The Ginger Tornado. Yeah. I am the guitar player for Without Mercy.
That's the secret. Don't tell the secret.
There you go. There you go. Business 101 going on right now.
Mm-hmm. Padawan.
And now we're just writing our 5th studio album, and sadly we did not get accepted to any festivals this year.
You didn't get accepted? That's unacceptable.
We got accepted to literally 0.
That's messed up, dude. Honestly, that's messed up. That is messed up.
They just don't like gingers, I guess.
Yeah. Oh well.
Yeah, they're all racist.
Yeah. Hey, whatever reasons that these festivals make those decisions, whatever. And you can't fault them for it because it's not easy to run a festival. And Nate knows more than anybody that you can't just put on whoever you want, whenever you want, and sometimes you got to make a decision to not put people on.
Well,
all joking aside, though, I don't envy having to make that decision. So yeah, no, I'm good. I'm with you, Jay.
Well, yeah, you guys have been on the last few too, right? I mean.
We were pretty regular at Loud as Hell. We've only played Armstrong twice since its inception, and Metallian once.
Yeah.
And then Calgary Metal Fest we played once, I believe.
You know what I'd love to play? That boat. What's that boat cruise one out of Vancouver? It's like a day cruise.
The Invisible Orange boat cruise?
Yeah, that's the shit. That looks like so much
What's it
fun.
called?
I think it's called the Invisible Orange boat cruise.
Right.
Awesome.
Invisible Orange, yeah.
But
you play that one?
We have not.
See?
Hey, we'd go play that with you guys.
Yeah. Let's do it. We'll hijack the boat.
This is me planting the seed right now.
God.
We'll sell it as a package.
Kayak this Without Mercy and exit strategy on the Vancouver boat cruise.
15 grand. Good deal.
Oh, that would be an awesome show, dude. That would be an awesome show. Here's another thing too. Is like, and this is what Kayaktis has been trying to do over the years. Is maybe not so as successfully as we'd like, but United States is right there, and there's tons of places to play. Canadian bands got to get down there. It's crucial to just get to that so much bigger audience, and a lot of great people too that you can meet. And it's just like, it's typical metal family, right? You go around all over, and Mexico too, man. Like the metaleros, el metaleros. But
Nice.
yeah, so it's just, man, while we do want to get on all these good shows in Canada, we can't forget about all those great places to play and just over the border.
Well, and it's funny, like the bands that do that and get out there more, I mean, they're turning into the headliners now. Like, you look at Unleash the Archers or Striker. Like, fucking Striker was just on 70K, man. That's fucking insane.
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine?
Oh, that'd be a good time.
That'd be a good time. Yeah, I could imagine.
Well, we had and that's another thing. Western Canada is fully represented at 70,000.
It's fucked. I asked them if they had like their own wing, and they're like, "Well, we have our own hot tub," and I was like, "Gross."
Yeah.
Like hopefully it's not. There's nobody from Banff there.
Oh, jeez, come on, quit stereotyping Banff people.
It's easy. They make it easy. They're all Australians.
Yeah. It's okay to hate Australians, guys. It's all right. Yeah.
Inter-white hating.
Yeah.
They're all white people. Whites can hate
that's
whites.
right. I didn't say Aboriginals. Jeez. Cut this part, Nate. Yeah.
Probably will, but no, I mean, so I agree with what Che's saying in the sense of like, let's get out there and let's try to do it. And I know you and I, DJ, have talked a lot about trying to do it, and it's really hard.
It can be, and that's the dream. Is eventually my company will have a standard operating procedure to get that down there, and then that's it. Once I tap that well, that's game over, man. You call my company, and we'll send you on a U.S. Canada tour, bring you back, and the ultimate goal that I'm super grateful of is I keep hearing from random sources that my company has this reputation of like pristine, you don't get fucked over, call DJ, they're honest as fuck. And that's publicity you can't buy, man. You can't do it.
Yeah.
Well, and if I may fucking, go off the back, jerk myself off on the back of your your business here. Fucking, that's my plan too, is like, I have a whole PA. Like, I have access to a state-of-the-art PA. Like, I do sound, I do, like, it's full bore lighting rig.
Sick, man.
Like, fucking, this shit could fucking go anywhere. Like, we could just get the fucking circus tent and go.
Yeah.
Rent the fucking elephant and let's fucking do this in every town. Like, I could really pull off the whole entire production. It's no bullshit.
Yeah, it's true.
And
it takes money. That's the problem.
It takes money, and there's not enough money there. And especially in the way I've always looked at it with my business model is like, I almost have to get grants because I have to be able to take a shit, or take shit on the first 3 go-rounds, because it's not going to make money, but everybody has to get paid. So that's something I've been working on, is all this like grant bullshit, which is terrible and I hate it. But if I can get that going, where we could put this quote unquote show on the road and fucking go play, then I mean, it's unreal. Like, we could just take this thing on the road and do 100 fucking days a year.
Look at it like this, too,
Temple
Nate.
Productions and Big Nate Productions, fucking, we both do it, and fucking, it just all happens awesomely. And now we're Rush in the 70s, who are fucking playing the baseball fields and doing all this stuff. Like, I want to, especially in Calgary, like in the last 5-6 years, it's been terrible for the all ages scene. Like, the all ages scene is fucked, but they're like
it's
screaming.
It's
still there. They're like screaming for it. They want it.
They do.
And so to be able to go do that old Rush fucking style, like a business model, where it's like, fuck it, man, we got everything, and we're gonna pull up in a fucking baseball diamond and rock the fuck out of this thing and get, dinged by the city because we didn't get any permits. Anyways, we would do all the permits right. It's just to go out and do it. I mean, that's my business model. That's where I want to go in the next couple of years, is being that guy where you come to Alberta, I got the fucking, I got a stage line, which for people who don't know is like a fucking, you hook it onto the back of a transport truck and it turns into a stage. And boom, and we got the PA and we got fucking everything. We can do a show anywhere at any time, And I think that is like a future evolution. Like that could be fucking brought around North America.
Do you ever go to one of those beer house parties? Like the big beer companies used to have these house parties, and there'd be bands and shit there.
What year?
Like that, long time ago, bro.
Okay, there we go.
But you know what I mean? Those were big, awesome parties, and those bands got paid. And
no, I know, but that's kind of the point of this. This keeps coming up. It was
like a successful thing.
This keeps coming up in this whole conversation where it's like that was like the old golden times when there was all this weird fucking money going around in the music business, and now there's zero, and everybody's like shitting their pants and freaking out, and because there is zero, there's nothing. Everybody steals it now, so which is fine. That's just what it is. I'm not mad. I'm not Lars. It's just that's what it is, and you have to be a DJ in this world to make any money. You like that one?
Yeah, I'm a DJ.
But you're a for real DJ, you didn't name yourself DJ, your mother did.
Yeah, because this is what I choose to call myself.
Well, I couldn't imagine you as any other name at this point.
It's true. So, don't be so hard on your mom, DJ, okay?
I'm
let it go, bro.
I just didn't understand it at first. I was like, is there seriously a DJ putting on metal shows now? Like, fuck off. Oh, sorry, DJs that I know that put on metal shows. Yeah. It was a different time, let me put it that way.
And it was Winnipeg.
Yeah, no, it was Calgary.
This is the best interview ever.
You like it?
This is awesome. But
so, anyways, my point of my rant was, sorry, and I remember that thought, but was that I look forward to the future, and it'd be cool to put our heads together to really expand this, where it could really fucking work. And I mean, if we get it going on a scale, I mean, people would be loving it. If a band can get a hold of you and say, I want to go on tour, yeah, well, no problem. We have a circuit.
Well, and this is another thing about DJ too. Like, I'm kind of speaking for you now. That he's willing to do a lot of different things. Like, he's got the taxes. Like, he can have your taxes done. He can get you lyric video, music video, book you a tour. Like, you name it. Like merch, everything. Like, he can do all this stuff. And it's not just him, of course, but Temple Entertainment can do all this stuff, and he's open to different things, where a lot of people are just like, no, this is the service that I provide,
Right, like the toughest thing we've run into is coming up with a services list, because I literally haven't been stumped yet.
Yeah.
Can you help me with this? Yeah, of course I can. What about this? Of course we can. What about this? Absolutely. Let me get Justin on the phone. He'll take care of you.
Yeah.
It's so unbelievable. And that's why I've surrounded myself with the people I've surrounded myself with, because it's not like I get one person that can do one thing. Every person in this company can do like 90 different things, and they believe in doing the best quality service for the customer, regardless of the price point. It's always the best service that they can possibly do. And if they need help, they ask me for help, and we work together. Nobody's on the hook for shit. I hate businesses that do that. If somebody in the company is having an issue, they can phone me and say, hey, I've got a disgruntled client, or I just can't get this logo right, and I'll jump in, and I'm going to help you get the logo right. I don't get paid for that. That's your job. You're still getting all the money. But you need to be able to ask everybody else in the company for help and never feel like you're alone.
Yeah. Yeah, because, then you're just selling yourself short, really,
Absolutely. I'm really inspired by these guys like Richard Branson, who I read about. He gives everybody 6 weeks holiday a year, full paid maternity leave. You fly anywhere on his airline for free. Like, people like this are doing it right, man. I'm sure we've all heard the Walmart versus Costco story. If Costco pays its people like $19 an hour, Walmart pays its people like $9, but Costco still has record sales every year. Like,
and they sell memberships, which Walmart doesn't do, which is unreal.
I wouldn't want a Walmart.
The thing is, you can make a very comfortable living, which I by no means am trying to be narcissistic, but I'm making a very comfortable living doing this. And it's off of the business model of work hard, be nice to people, don't screw anybody.
Yeah.
Well, so, I mean, go ahead. Sorry.
I mean, it's unfathomable to me, really, at that point. I'm like, I'm just working hard, I'm being nice to people, and people call me, and if there's a service I can't do, I'll say I can't do it. Or the phrase I've used recently is a lot of the hip-hop scene out here is getting in touch with me. And I said, I will love to help you as much as I can, but I am not comfortable with the hip-hop scene. Like, I have no history with it, I have no connections in it, but I'll do whatever the fuck I can, but please understand I have no experience with the hip-hop scene. And they've still been like, yeah, sure, man, throw money at pay the service fees of the company and just hope for the best. Like, it's getting that kind of a reputation. It's spanning genres.
Huh.
Right.
Good. Well, that's why you sent me that text. I was wondering.
Maybe I can get you hooked up with the hip-hop scene.
Yeah, I mean, that seems like, I mean, and I'm not whatever, this is just my opinion, but to go from like being really rad at metal, I mean, I can see what they're thinking, where it's like they're both niche markets and it's really hard to do. So if you can do metal, you can do anything, and that's always been my thought with stuff.
Well, here's another thing.
But it's a big leap to make, to be doing metal stuff and then all of a sudden to pull it over to hip hop, because it's just different fucking crowds, especially in BC.
Yeah, that's fine and everything, but I think too, as a company that's bringing in acts it breaks down to you bringing in acts to specific venues, and a venue can't just have a metal show every night. They'll go out of business. You can't just.
It's true.
You can't just hammer metal
in Canada.
You know what I mean? And so, if you're able to offer a variety of different acts to a venue or local promoters, it's going to be a good thing for your business, because it just gives it that. It's just a broader spectrum. I think it's good.
Fuck yes.
Well, I mean, for me, it's the reputation is getting around. They're like, well, we don't know how to do it, so we should phone someone. Well, everyone in the music scene is going to screw you. Well, Temple Entertainment's not screwing people. We should just phone them. And then they phone us, and all of our representatives, the way we talk is plain as day. Yeah. Hey, can you guys do lyric videos? Absolutely. This is the price point we charge for lyric videos, and it's really simple. Like, I know that we're turning out killer-looking lyric videos, and I know we're cheaper than everybody else. I know this for a fact. And the thing is, I tell people, I know it's still expensive for a band starting out to drop like $200 on a lyric video. I know that's expensive. But you got to understand that there's some dude that's sitting there for 40 hours animating every vowel in your goddamn lyric list.
It's not easy.
So is $5 an hour okay for that guy?
Yeah, so you gotta understand the work that's involved. And when you say it like that, people go, "Oh shit, I didn't know." Yeah, that sounds fair.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we don't limit ourselves to things like, I've always hated it when people are like, I'll do a logo for you, but you only get 2 revisions and 1 PDF document sent to you, and it's $5 for a transparent vector, but it's only $15 for this, that, the other. Just charge a fucking rate and sell them the logo. Like, just be done with it.
Yeah. Logos can be tough too. I mean,
yeah.
People get
Art
an
is
idea
tough. Art
in their
is
head,
tough.
And it's tough to tell people it's tough to tell people what you want out of a logo.
Right. Well, and I mean, all of this is obviously just me talking out my ass because I want to sound important on your radio show. But
It's the internet.
For the most part, I do believe when two people get in touch to do a business transaction and the intentions are honorable, it's going to work out fine. Everybody's going to leave happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? Sometimes it doesn't even come up.
Yeah, it's when one side is a little sketched out or a little shady that makes people upset.
Yeah.
Well, if you can point-to-point contact the people that will work together, I mean, you know, like for example, I have a buddy, and it was like a buddy through a buddy through a buddy to do a logo design, and like he was out in Toronto, and we're out here.
Lobster logo.
And fucking, it was just like, man, you know, you're not hitting me with what I thought you'd hit me with, like.
And we, of course, made fun of it and just ripped on Nate for this fucking logo.
And like, I'm doing my best, thinking we're getting a deal, and thinking, you know, we're working with a friend and giving a friend some business and all this stuff, but it's like at the end of it, it was all just a big fucking waste because the people didn't see it on the same. They didn't see eye to eye, and that's a weird thing with art. Like to be able to connect the right artists to the right artists, so that everybody, to at least have everybody on the same fucking page. Like that's the way I've always looked at it in my business too. Is if you're up front and you say like, "Hey man, this is fucking what we're doing," and stuff, and if you sit here and want to do, you know, 90 like that's where I kind of get what you were just saying, where it sounds terrible, where it's like you get 2, you know, fixes and blah blah blah, but at the same time too, if you're not fucking, if you're trying to force a shit out, you know, for art's sake, like sometimes, you know, you'll get, well, we were thinking this, they're poor communicators, I am a poor communicator. And sometimes that shit is happening. You know, maybe they're a terrible artist, or I'm a terrible artist, or whatever it is. I mean, I just like that you're trying to put the right people with the right people and talented people, you know, and it almost has to stay kind of Western Canada-ish, right? Like if you tried to just well, no, it doesn't have to, but if you were to try to upsize something like this worldwide, I mean, you would have to have some real motherfuckers on the ground in those local places that you knew were killers, right?
Well, the other thing is think about how my business is being done too, right? Like you've ever seen my live videos where I talk about like goal setting and stuff like that, but the big thing that I always preach is, don't chase money. Don't set goals based on money, because money's a short game solution. Chase passion, chase the reason to do it. So for me, I do a lot of the web design and a lot of the graphic design and the tour routes. I'm okay at this, but my greatest skill to this company is I am a fantastic communicator. That's my skill.
It's huge.
So I sit here and I vet the jobs when they come in. And then I talk to the client and go, tell me like I'm a 4-year-old kind of thing, what you want. And they tell me I want this. And then I just relay it to the person that's within the company like team that I think is the best for that job. I can just line people up. That's my primary role. And I really think that's why it's going great. I'm not sending a mastering job. For those of you that don't know, it's like the most apparently forgotten part of a post-production on a CD. Everybody, please get your shit mastered. Just like get it.
Well, it is post-production.
Not mastering your shit.
It is like, yeah, you could say, I guess it's the second phase of post-production. I don't know.
But yeah, so
important,
very important.
Like, I'm not gonna send Nate. You're a really good studio engineer guy, so you know that like as a studio engineer guy, the 3 stages I look at: a recording of a record, and then mixing of a record, and mastering of a record, are the 3 stages that when I do a Without Mercy record with people, I kind of divvy up the time and task into these 3 categories.
Yeah, experts or whatever, yeah.
Often you'll get a guy that is a sick recording guy, and he's pretty good at mixing, but his best friend or something is sick at mixing and not so good at recording.
Yeah, and then he has a buddy who's good at mastering.
Yeah, and then there's the mastering guys like some dude that lives in a forest somewhere or something. I don't fucking know.
Sure.
But why send the mastering guy to get you recorded? That wouldn't make sense. That's not a good matchup, and that's where I come in. I send the best graphic designer for that job to that person. the best mastering to that job of that person, the best tax guy. Well, we only have the one dude because he is literally the best, seriously. But that's where my role comes in, man. I think that's why we're doing so great, because nobody's getting ripped off. Everyone's getting exactly what they asked for, and sometimes more than. And I know it's been more than once that we've called someone and said, actually, we overquoted you on the job. You owe us $100 less. And people are like, holy shit, okay, this thing looks sick, and I don't have to pay as much money. Fuck yeah.
Well, yeah. Like, that's being a true... Well, anyways, I'm not going to paint you with a brush, but that's like being a true conservative. Like, when you can go out and kind of like overquote, they agree to it, and then you come in under. I mean, isn't that fucking awesome?
Yeah, like, I want people to know that when you call me, my company, whatever, me in this case, because I'm the one that answers the phone. Honestly, guys, we have your best interest at heart. We're not up to screw anyone. We're making very comfortable livings by doing things what I believe is the right way. Working hard, being nice to people, don't screw around. Tell them exactly the way it is. And if we can't help you, we'll tell you we can't help you. And then sometimes we'll even go as far as to find the person that can.
Well, and then again, like, this brings me back to Stab Twist Pull, because I don't think I finished this thought earlier when I brought it up, is that they were so pumped that they had somewhere to, like, when you booked their tour, like, they had rad places to stay, you know, wherever they went, wherever they went, they were accepted, they were brought in, and every show was good. You know what I mean? It was actually put together, like, well, and they were really blown away by that. Like, not like well on the front end and well on the back end, you know, because it's easy to be like, oh, well, we got this show and blah blah blah, and then it's another thing to have a place to stay and the rad people, you know.
Yeah, do they talk about the, like, 5-pound bag of meat?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
5-pound bag of what?
Yeah, the 5-pound bag of meat.
Oh, see, boom, done.
Wasn't there like was there a tray, like a cracker, cheese and crackers?
We one of the businesses I partner with down here, it's a butcher shop. So when bands coming out of town, we send them home with a 5-pound bag of, like, smoked meat that's fresh out of the smoker and shit. It's all this jerky and sausage and garlic sausage and
nice. So that's a sponsorship too.
Like.
That's a sponsorship. Yeah. You have a meat sponsor?
Yeah, dude. You haven't seen the Bag of Without Mercy, man? It's clear as day.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Holy shit.
They keep us fed, bro.
Yeah, last time you guys were through here, I was commenting on that. Yeah, it was good.
Well, at the beginning of the tour, we just might have some jerky left over we can share.
Yeah.
Fucking A. Well, I'm glad we were able to turn this into a 100% infomercial this whole fucking time for your company. It's amazing.
Wow. I mean, it's a big part of his life. It's Temple Entertainment. It's DJ Temple. You know, what are you going to talk about with DJ Temple? You're going to talk about the amazing things that he does.
100%.
Well, I do appreciate the support. No bullshit, guys. You guys have been very kind to us for a long time.
Yeah, no, fucking A. And, you know, hit us up and hit you up and hit everybody up. Let's do this. Yeah. Like, let's get out there and do things.
And hey, let's drop. Who's the other people helping you? Like, you got Reagan down in Lethbridge, Reagan Mayer, right?
Yeah, we got Reagan. Reagan's down in Lethbridge. She runs our graphic design department.
Yeah.
And we've got Justin Shadows up in Red Deer. He's hooking us up with a lot of stuff. And Asha Thomas in Red Deer as well. And we're in talks right now, but I'm not allowed to say who it is, with somebody out of Edmonton. And then when this conversation's over, Nate Reno and I are going to have a conversation about Calgary.
Zing. No, well, I mean, like, I don't know. Should we bring it up a little bit? Like, you know, we talked. You called me and asked me if I wanted to do some production for Temple Entertainment, and I was very flattered.
Well, yeah, because, like, bands need someone like Nate Reno in their life when they go to record. And the reason they need that is they need forgive the term, a grizzled veteran.
Sure.
someone that's done the recording that's going to look the guy in the face and be like, that is a shitty guitar part. Make a new one.
That's what, actually, I like that about Nate. You know, when I record, you know, Nate's there and he's that guy, you know, helping me along, and he's like, come on, try that again. Like, fuck, that's not good enough.
Well, it's either right or it's wrong, right? I mean, like, there's two kinds of music, good and shitty. So it goes down to the take too. Like,
well,
the thing about that conversation that we had though was because it's going to serve an actual need that my company has, and the need is when you're anywhere near me in Abbotsford, I have a full setup and access to the best studios in the province to get you in, recorded, mixed, mastered, printed, duplicated, CD artwork in the slot, send you on your way. Yeah. But I don't have that need for somebody in Alberta. And frankly, it's not always feasible to say to a band, start driving, I'll see you in 12 hours.
Right, yeah.
I need someone that I can trust out there that does quality work, that does not put shitty work out, that believes in the project that he's working as much as I believe in every project I'm working with, tours, graphics, whatever, and is going to look at the band and say, I'm not going to charge you by the hour. It's going to be this much money for your entire project.
Fucking
because that's what it's going to cost. The band's going to be like, why is it that much? And you're going to be like, mixing, mastering, recording it, pre-production, all this shit you've never thought of. That's why I'm here. And the band's going to be like, sounds good, Mr. Reno.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, it is a process, and it needs to go through its process, and that's just what fucking recording is. I mean, I've been lucky enough to work, not with a ton, but I worked with one really awesome producer from like the 80s and 90s. He did Shania Twain's first record, you know, like, and I learned a lot from that guy. It was a long time ago, and what I got from him was, does it sound good? You know, like, who cares what all your questions are? Who cares what your problem is? Like, does it sound good? Was that good? Does that sound, you know? So I really look at it from that point of view where, especially in the metal world, I mean, I love the metal because it's a challenge to make everything so loud and so clear and so good. And it's so, the tolerances are so low when you're recording metal that you got to be that guy, or you're just kind of jerking everybody off.
Yeah, and I remember when Without Mercy cut our first more than 2-song album. We did an 8-song EP, or LP, whatever that would be called. And we went to the studio in Vancouver where I actually met the studio owner himself when we were scheduling the project. And he sat me down and was like, I treat everyone the same as if you're a big-ass signed band coming through here. He never bumped people. He's like, I don't care if Slayer knocks on my door, you don't get bumped. DJ's band was here first.
Sure, yeah, that's killer.
And he's the first guy that told me about mastering. I didn't even know mastering was a thing. And he's like, where's your mastering budget? He asked me for a budget. He would go and me through on like this huge education on this budget is not reasonable. There's no way in hell, even if you have the best drummer in the world, he's going to get it done in 8 hours. Yeah. Like, you got to do a few days for your drummer. This is how long it takes for sound. This is how long it takes for that.
Yeah.
And throughout the process, he would be guiding me going, you're running behind on your budget. You're overspending on this when it could be that. And I'm like, this guy doesn't have to do that. I am not a huge paying client. I am paying like base rate because that's all we could afford. And he was still okay with it.
No, yeah.
And
realism. You gotta be real.
What if Temple Entertainment could be that guy?
Sure.
That's what I think. Because, like, man, if a band that is super young gets in touch with Nate Reno, your album's not going to suck. If they get in touch with Reagan, your lyric video is going to look sick as hell. If they get in touch with me or Justin, your tour is going to be profitable as fuck.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Oh.
Well, Nate, did you just finish recording Statue of Demir's new album?
Yeah, we're halfway done. I got drums and bass, and like every record, I mean, it's the best fucking work I've done. I'm surprised by this one. This one is really like fucking. It is every single one is the culmination of a life's work, right? To sit there and all that knowledge But I totally feel what you're saying, man. With everybody, you got experts on different shit, and that's what it's all about, man.
Absolutely, and everybody wants to work with us, which is a great feeling because everybody's believing in this project. It's like somebody told me it was a breath of fresh air. I think that was the metaphor or the cliche. Well, like a company that actually gives a shit about clients again.
Yeah, because, you know, a lot of us have already dealt with a lot of businesses that just really didn't give a fuck. And they'll take your money and not tell you, like, hey, this you know, like, this shirt will not, it's not printable. But they'll just print it anyways and then send you a shitty shirt. And you're stuck with all these shirts that suck. And you had to pay for it.
I've heard that story so many times, Jay. And I got to tell you about this T-shirt company. This T-shirt company we partner with out here in Vancouver area. They once printed. They sent me a proof or whatever, and we were about to go on tour. It was like 5 days away or something like that, and I was like, "Can you do this shirt?" They're like, "Yeah." They sent me the proof. I was like, "The proof looks rad." They printed 100 and something shirts. Might have been like 120 or something, whatever the math worked out to be.
Yeah.
And they came off the line. They looked like dog shit, apparently, because I was told. I never even got to see them because they did not meet company standards.
Yeah.
And we're leaving for tour in like 2 or 3 days, and they just printed another 120, apologized to me, and gave me a discount for fucking up the first order.
Wow. Well, hey,
and I'm going like, why are you guys not like always hella busy?
Well, that's a basic business principle too. Is the whole mess up, fess up, dress up thing, where you make a mistake, you admit to that mistake, and then you do something to make it right. You know, and a lot of businesses don't really do that. You know? And when they don't, I'm kind of mad about it.
Well, and again, this is what I was coming back to with this like old school way of thinking. It's like we're the new age of the music business, where it's like we just all saw the end of the old age. That was like, oh well, I'll just fucking take the money and run, and just fucking, they're all idiots, and fucking don't sit there and fight with them. Don't try to tell them what's going on, like, unless you're Nirvana or whatever, and you know, unless it's a fucking $1 million gig, you know, don't add to it. Just be like, yeah, okay. I mean, at the end of the day, if you're not adding, you're taking away, and that's just how physics works.
Well, I think a big part of the, like, where we are all at right now, like, for especially Western Canada, you know, here we are, we're in this big kind of wasteland, right? And for all these years, like, it was always like the last place that anybody would want to tour. But now you know, the people that are from here have built this big network, and we're, you know, we're able to do all these things. And now all the bigger acts you see a lot more bigger acts coming through here nowadays than you used to.
Oh, sure.
You know, like,
especially out here, yeah.
Like, it's nonstop now, and that's cool and everything. But I think a lot of that is on the backs of the local scene in a way, right? Like, where, you know, there's just these people that do it for the love of it, and this is kind of like the fruits of our labor and our love, you know.
Well, and like
really
DJ
come
said,
together in the last, I don't know, I would even say the last 10 years, it's come together big time in Western Canada.
Well, and like DJ said earlier, we're old as fuck, and like, it's just finally it's starting to come around, and
well, I mean, when I was
young,
it
is like, I would agree 100, and I agree with everything you said, but it's with the fruits of the labor, like with the good intention as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like you're planting seeds in a good. You're not sitting there going, "Oh, I'm gonna fuck," you know. Like that's the conversation we're having here. like you can be that guy who's like, oh, I'm planting corn and I hate my life, or, you know, you can be planting fucking something good and eating well with good intention, and that's what Temple Entertainment's all about. Good intention, right, DJ?
Work hard, be nice to people. It's all that matters.
Fucking rights.
Why not? Right? It feels good to do good things.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And nobody
I
can
think,
fuck you then. If you're a liar, you got to have a good memory. If you don't lie, you don't have to have a good memory.
yeah, I mean, whenever we fuck up, because it's going to be inevitable, we'll own it. I fucked up, my bad. How can I make this right? That's what I'll say to whatever client. How can I make this right?
Yeah, as you should, as you have to.
Yep, it's inevitable, man. I mean, not everyone's going to be happy. It's my dream that they will be. I like to stay as positive as I can, but...
Well, fucking A. I mean, hey, man, thanks for calling. Thanks for being on the podcast. Really dig the work you do, and looking forward to working with you in the future, man.
Hell yeah, buddy. First of many, I truly hope.
I'm looking forward to that fucking new Without Mercy. It's going to happen on one of these days here. Oh, yeah.
Oh, thanks, man.
That's going to be the shit, dude.
It's going to be pretty nuts. Wait till you hear what Alex is pulling off, man.
Yeah.
It's just bloody ridiculous.
He's a monster, man. Like, he's definitely... I know a lot of different vocalists really... You know, we really enjoy his style and everything, and his performance. He's like a monster. He's like a
like a literal monster.
Like, yeah, he can get scary up there, man. Like, holy shit, this guy is fucking serious. Love it.
As is Without Mercy. You guys are a monster
yeah.
fucking band, and everybody go check them out.
Please do.
Yeah, well,
validate our existence.
You guys just dropped a video, right? Like, you did that one with Mark Hunter. You got that one track with Mark Hunter from Chimera.
Fuck.
Yeah, we dropped a lyric video with Mark Hunter, which you can find via the Canadian Metal thing. But we're gonna throw it up on our page real soon, and we're gonna drop our new one pretty soon too.
Sweet.
Okay, so here we go. I was trying to end the podcast, but I forgot I had that question.
Mm-hmm.
How the hell did you hook up with Mark Hunter?
We had a mutual friend, essentially, and I've been talking to Mark about some other stuff because he was a life coach, and I was thinking about getting into life coaching. And so I was like talking to him about his perspective and how he goes about stuff. And we kind of dropped it, and then he gave me a price tag because he wanted to be paid for his time, which I totally respect. And basically, we paid him for his time, and Bob's your uncle.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, and you know what? I mean, it's especially if you look at the hip hop world, that's just a common thing. Like you know, you want a good MC to you know, put verses on your track. Well, they're going to look at what you've done because they don't want to just put it on anything.
Yeah.
But you know, at the end of the day, you're cutting them a check. You know, you're going to pay them for that because they're.
And I mean, in Mark's case, it's important to keep in mind, like, he doesn't live anywhere near us. So this guy had to drive to a studio. He had to rent studio time.
Yeah.
He had to track it himself and then pay an engineer to send it to us with whatever specs our engineer had wanted. Because I'm no sound engineer. Those guys have a conversation that I just go, "Ooh, I'm a ginger, yay!" I don't understand what the hell they're talking about.
You just give 2 thumbs up. Yeah. That's what I do too, man.
Yeah. I mean, and that's the conversation Mark and I had. He's like, "It's this much money." I go, "All right, well, you know, it's not that much money, except that the exchange rate is so shitty for Canadians trying to pay US dollars right now."
Yeah, it went back to 94. What the fuck happened here? We were par for a long time.
Oh, buddy, it's killing me. But
fucking Obama. Thanks, Obama.
Oh, shit.
Somebody's
fault.
Yeah,
everyone, please go to withoutmercyband.com or check out Without Mercy on Facebook and reach out, say hey to us. Just say hey. I'm the guy that usually answers anyway, so I'm a chatty motherfucker. I will always answer every text, email, or phone call to the point where it pisses my wife off, but I make a point of answering every single message that we get.
You know, here's another thing I'd like to mention to people is, like, sometimes people think, man, you know, we can't get this band out here. It's not going to be possible. And then they just play it off like it's not possible. But you know, if you want Without Mercy to come play in your city, your town, whatever, reach out to these guys, and you'll be amazed, like, what can happen, because, you know,
For nothing.
well, hey, easy. I'm not saying for nothing. I'm saying that people think that things can't happen sometimes, and sometimes that I've been that guy. I agree. When I was growing up, I was in like Prince Albert, Saskatchewan, 14 years old, listening to Sacrifice. And do you think that I ever imagined that I would be hanging out with Sacrifice and having them wish me a happy birthday every year? And like that, to me, that shit's amazing, and it's possible. It's all possible,
especially right now.
Yeah, and like I was saying about how kind of like Canada's a bit behind on its kind of like, it's blossoming right now. You know what I mean? Like it's coming to fruition. All this stuff for all these years, all the work that the Joe Sikorskis and the Greg Musgraves put in.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. The Don Stenhouses.
That's right. All this stuff is like it's. All the work that those guys put in for all those years, and even myself too, like just being part of the scene, it's all coming to this big fruition where it's becoming its own thing. It's its own entity now, where it was just the vast wasteland that people were like, well, sometimes we got to tour it, and I think it's a great thing, man.
Yeah, I mean, like Shay said, reach out. You will never be surprised. We'll go anywhere, man. We're a very mobile band, and we love touring. I think that's been established.
Fucking right. You'll play a bar mitzvah, right? Even though you're a ginger?
Yeah, whatever.
And gingers aren't typically against bar mitzvahs, I don't think. Jeez. I mean, is that a thing? I never heard of that.
I just thought it was funny to bring it up.
Oh, yeah. Oy vey.
Oy vey. Fucking A. Well, on that ridiculous note, I think I'm really going to hang up the phone now, DJ. I love you, man.
All right. Thanks for taking the time to chat with me, guys.
Fucking A. Thanks for coming on, and all the best. And thanks for getting hard in Nate's backyard.
Woo!
Later.